Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void, and today for your Friday, it's going to be your Into the Void, an examination of silver, bronze, and gold level replays sent to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com. Thank you so much to Cerulean for screening every single one of these that were sent to me and selecting the best ones. Top right-hand corner is going to be the Red Zerg player, Pouncer, on Cerulean Fall, and far, far away in the bottom left-hand corner is going to be the Blue Terran player Ezekiel from the Bible. Or, you know, maybe just someone's name being Ezekiel. Zeke is a common way to shorten that name, at least in the anglicized version of it. I'm not sure exactly what Ezekiel translates into in Spanish or, you know, Hebrew or anything like that. But thanks for joining me on your Friday night. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time to examine these lower-level players as they make their way through the ladder of StarCraft 2 and make mistakes and learn how to improve and get Diamond and Masters and GM and win BlizzCon. It's really quite an amazing journey for most of these players, to be honest. And yeah, if you want to get your game cast by Falcon Paladin and you're just a Lowbie like this, go ahead and send it to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com. Make sure it's gold or silver or bronze, and we'll see if we can get it cast here. All right, now, Pouncer, number one thing here. I'm fine with the extractor pool opening. I am, but you better be aggressive with this, and I literally have no idea what this second extractor is for. I don't. If you're going to go for some kind of a Roach Ravager attack off one base, or go for a bunch of Speedlings off of one base, okay. I'm down, but that second gas is not needed at this stage of the game. Number one, if you want to improve at a race in StarCraft, go find a build. Go find a traditional build. Okay. That's a macro hatch. Pouncer threw down a macro hatch in his own main. I like the SCV scout by Ezekiel, by the way. I mean, absolutely, yes, do that. Oh, and that's a Reaper. Ezekiel has a generally better idea of what he's doing. He's going 1 Rax expand here. That supply depot, I think, is unnecessary for the build, and then he's getting another barracks up behind it. So this is a Reaper. Reaper's name is Jeff Bezos. In the year 2518. At the ripe old age of 554, Jeff Bezos must consume the blood of young Zerglings to keep his body young and his bald head unwrinkled. All right, man, good luck consuming those Zerglings, because what is this? All right, so in general, Pounder, one base Zerg is bad. Number two, learn a build. Go on Liquidpedia. Go search Liquidpedia StarCraft 2 in your Google machine. Find a build for Zerg. Even better yet, go to LOTV.spawningtool.com and find builds. That is actually probably more up to date. Definitely do that. I like this, how the Reaper's chasing around and the Queen's trying to get the Reaper and the Lings are just kind of hanging out. Hey guys, how are things? I mean, it's Monday, Bill. Don't ask me questions on Monday morning. You know how I get. And the Reaper decides, Jeff Bezos is like, you know what? I can't kill all of those. And if I get their attention, they'll probably kill me. I do like the Overlord Scout from Pouncer, though. He gets over here. That's probably a number one in StarCraft. Is Scout. Knowing what your opponent is doing is so hugely important. I still remember the first time I got DT rushed in StarCraft 2 because I didn't bother scouting what my Protoss opponent was doing, and it was a terrible sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach, and I always scout from now on. That's just what you gotta do, man. You gotta have a general idea of what is happening. So bunker at the front here, which does contain a couple Marines, which is beautiful. That a factory? Tell me it's a factory. Yes. Ezekiel doing the right things here. Factory, engineering bay, Zerglings chasing Jeff Bezos around. Now, here's a trick. If your micro is good enough, as a Reaper, you can kill an infinite number of slow Zerglings. It takes a lot of shots, but you're faster than them and can hit from a distance. So that's really fantastic. All right, now the problem for Pouncer is he doesn't have any more stuff. He has a bunker. Oh, wait, hold your horses. Where in the name of gameplay the damaged? Yeah, how is that off? I don't know. There you go. Health bars are up. And oh my gosh, the repair. Holy smokes, the repair. Ezekiel, you will be promoted soon, my son. Okay, I don't know how I feel about the planetary fortress at the natural. I mean, if you want to defend yourself against Lings and stuff, wall off here, get a bunker on the ramp, and you can do a lot better job of it. But man, planetary fortress is really difficult. Now, Pouncer, he's got +1/+1 for his Lings, which I normally will applaud. Way to go, Pouncer. But the 2 gas is not really needed for that. You have 398, 400 gas in the bank right now. Nothing to spend it on because there's no Roach Warren, there's no Hydralisk Den, you're not upgrading to a lair. this gas is going to increase exponentially. He does have speed now, which is really useful. Speedlings are about 40,000% better than slowlings are in every capacity, just because melee units with speed are much better than melee units without speed. Now, Planetary Fortress says, good luck with that, Pouncer. I mean, one of the lings got away. That was nice. 10 kills on our Planetary Fortress. Doing pretty good so far with that. Oh, and Pouncer is expanding at 5.5 minutes. Good job, Pouncer. Excellent work here, Pouncer. I'm very happy about that. Now, somebody asked in the comments of one of my previous videos, why, Falcon, do you even bother casting these Lowbie games? Who wants to see these? You know what? I don't care. I don't care who wants to see these, because I firmly believe that everybody in the StarCraft world deserves the chance to be cast on YouTube. That's it. That's all it is. No matter what level of StarCraft you play, all the way from bronze, all the way up through masters and grandmasters and professional. Obviously, the professionals and the grandmasters get cast more, but I really think the Lowbies deserve a chance too. Most of us live here. Most of us live in this ladder position. I'm a Diamond 3 myself, and it's just nice to know there's a chance of getting cast. Not that, I mean, I never got cast by anybody. I submitted replays too back in my day, and maybe that's part of it as well, is that I never got cast when I was playing ladder and submitting it to my favorite casters. So I want to give everybody the chance to be cast by me. Alright, so this is a very nice saturation here from Pouncer. He has 36 workers, which is a pretty darn good number for 2 base. But the problem is Ezekial is already on 2 base, but the good news for Pouncer is that I don't know what these SCVs are doing. Okay, so wow, Zerglings responding to this threat of a Marine, and these Marines are checking to make sure there's not more bases. And if Zerg comes back and wins this thing, you guys, I don't know what I'll say. Injecting here is Pouncer. Main Queen Energy is at 44, which is pretty darn good for Into the Void. It should be less than 25 if you're injecting properly on time and all that stuff, but I don't know, 44 is pretty good here for 7 minutes in an Into the Void game. Oh man, a Liberator. Liberators are so overpowered in these lower levels because they're so easy to set up and so hard to respond to. And Ezekial, I applaud you for that as well. Alright, so we're just kind of hanging out here on Cerulean Fall. There is a Liberator that I already mentioned here, hanging up here. Oh, Hydralisk Den. Oh, hang on. I may take it back. If it turns out you set up your Liberator in range of 2 queens, and they're shooting you before you go into defender mode, it's going to be a bad time. It's going to be a bad time for you for sure. So there's your Hydralisk Den. +1 missile attacks getting researched. There is a lair, obviously, because of the Hydra Den, and he's getting the double gas over here too. So 38 workers off of 2 bases with 4 extractors is not too bad. The problem is Ezekiel's also at 38 workers. He's on 2 bases. He's on 4 extractors as well. He does have an extra SCV on this refinery, which you do want to fix. It's an inefficiency, and it's an SCV that is effectively doing nothing for you, which is not good at all. This idle time, people ask about this, and this is just how much time have any of the workers for that player been doing nothing in the game. Not moving, not scouting, not harvesting, not building something, right? And there's a Spire, a double Spire here from Pouncer. Alright, alright, I am liking this. I'm liking this from Pouncer. He just needs to expand more quickly. He needs to expand to a 3rd base. Now, yesterday, 5 minutes ago, Infestation Pit, and a Roach Warren, and a Baneling Nest. Pouncer's doing the Protoss thing of getting all the tech at the same time, which, I mean, it helps him spend his money. He's at 200 supply, or 200 minerals right now, rather. 200 supply. No, 782 supply and 78 supply here for Ezekiel. But yeah, look at these drones. They came down here to expand, and these Marines are like, aha! And then Lings murdered all of them. Upgrades here. Only Stim for Ezekiel. He's going on +1 infantry attack, which is nice. But the Zerg player's got the +1/+1 for his Lings and +1 for his Hydras too, and his Roaches. So his upgrades are much better. I like the Sensor Tower. Sensor Towers should be used more often in the lower level games. Guys, get Sensor Towers and just throw them up. It allows you to see when enemies are coming at you from afar. It's basically creep, right? Basically creep, except you can't see exactly what it is unless you have full vision. Yeah? Yeah. All right, so there's your 3rd base from Pouncer. He's doing okay with that. APM about 50, 16 for Pouncer right now. Not playing all that fast, but I like the 2-2-2. He's working on with his triple evolution chamber action. I do this sometimes, you guys. hit the 3 evolution chamber just to start upgrading as fast as possible on all of those things. In case I need to tech switch to something, I want to have the upgrades, man. If I have to tech switch to Hydras and I don't have missile attacks at all, it's a bad feeling. And my Lings are fully upgraded, and I had the time to upgrade them at the evolution chamber, and it didn't work out. Anyways, Marines here, tanks here. It looks like Ezekiel doesn't properly know how to use rally points, as there are no rally points on these 2 barracks or this factory. So if you click on a building, then right-click over here, for example, anything that gets made out of those buildings will go over here. It's very nice. Marine, nope. The Marine at the 4th base location gets chewed up by Zerglings. +1/+1 Lings, by the way. Just going to point that out. The upgrading here for Pouncer has been pretty fantastic. I'm liking it. APM for Ezekiel is literally 0 right now. Oh, and Pouncer's too. Pouncer's matched it. Pouncer was like, hey, you can play with no APM? I can too. Check this out. All right, so now the Marines are heading on over. The Marines really should have combat shield. If you have this many Marines, you really need a, first of all, barracks with the tech lab, and then get combat shield on there. All upgrades for Marines are good upgrades for Marines. There's a couple Vikings out here doing nothing for Ezekiel. Getting shot at by these Hydralisks. Jump, 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 jump. They have the speed upgrade? No, they have the range upgrade. They don't have the muscular augments upgrade here at the Hydralisk Den. Is this Hydra actually going to kill a Viking just through sheer inattention? Nope. Absolutely not. Marine Marauder here. Pretty good against Ling Hydra. Even if the upgrades are better, Medivacs really help to even that score, and Stim is really fantastic too, and Pouncer's army just gets absolutely massacred. Ugh, that's a bad feeling. Pouncer, bounce back, man. Bounce back and pounce. That's awesome stuff, right? All right, so Pouncer going for a 4th here. Ezekiel knows this because he saw the extractors getting tossed down, and he knew his Marine got killed up here. So he's going to try to kill this base. There's the scan. He sees it's finished. Got some static defense here by Pouncer at his 3rd, which I'm really a huge fan of, and he just doesn't have anything right now. He's got 7 Hydras. He has 7 Hydras in his army. 24 army supply, and goodbye. 4th base that just hatched too. Ouch. Right in the guts. Broodlings, attack, kill. And no, the Medivac is going to heal that up quite nicely. So goodbye, Larva. I mean, Larva take a while to kill. They have 10 armor. But if you have enough shots at them from enough things and the upgrades are good, it's really not going to be a big deal. Ezekiel's 3rd base is up. It is a planetary fortress. No real big surprise. Even the pros go for planetary fortresses at their 3rd bases more often than not. Just not at their natural. It's not usually necessary. They wall off. They get a couple tanks early. And any aggression from Zerg is very hard for them to pull off. He's getting high-sec auto-tracking, which I'm a fan of. And drilling claws, which allows the Widow Mines to be burrowed. Allows them to be burrowed permanently, even after they fire. Now, these Hydras did a pretty good job of themselves taking out that Medivac. Another Medivac is here. Can the Hydras win that thing? I kind of feel like they can. These are 2/2 Hydras, man, versus 1/1 Marines. Oh, Marines, chop, 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 chop. But the surround attack, pretty good stuff here. The Hydra's picking off Marines, though. Medivac support is nil. Where did you go, Medivacs? Oh, hey, where'd we? Oh, say the Medivac pilots. We were healing some Marines there a second ago. Where are they? Oh, the blood spots on the ground seem to indicate what's happening here, I suppose. That is a hive from Pouncer. A 13-minute hive in an Into the Void game, and yet it makes perfect sense. Pouncer has the right idea, you guys. He's just not making units well. His bank is at 3,000, 2,400. And he's producing a couple Hydras, I guess. How much larva does he have? 8? He could be spending that. His injects are looking pretty good on, most of his hatcheries. He actually doesn't have a queen at this 4th. There we go. Popping one, or 3rd rather. Replanting his 4th like a boss is Pouncer. Good man. And a 4th base on the way from Ezekiel to the right of the natural. Now, army supply is 60 to 42. Ezekiel, where's your army? Dude, oh, here it is. Okay, so he's got an army. They're pushing up across the map. They happen to have, there's that +1/+1 in Stim, working on +2/+2, but it's not quite there yet. And a couple Medivacs. Now, Banelings are kind of necessary to deal with this many Marines. Hydras, eventually the upgrades for the Marines will just outstrip you. And even standing straight against 3/3 Marines, or 3/3 Hydras, the 3/3 Marines will be just fine. Double expanding is Pouncer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases for Pouncer right now. He loves getting those extractors fast, which I'm cool with. I do that too. When I expand, I usually send 3 drones out, extractor, extractor, hatch. And the extractors are done early, but I don't have to worry about it later, is the general idea. Now, the Spire is done, and we're getting upgrades for those flying things. Flyer Carapace, Flyer Attack, but not that we've made any of those units yet. It's 21 Hydras. And just upgrades, man. This is the most upgrading production tab I've ever seen. And it's in an Into the Void game. All right, so Hydra's Queens, and oh, there's your tank. Ooh, 2 tanks, but the Medevac's a little bit up here. Oh, hang on, don't, oh, I think he tried to focus down the tanks, but that's not exactly how you do things at all. The tanks need to move up. Once the tanks are in range of that hatchery, things get a lot more dicey for the Zerg, and he can't just sit back here and attack the Marines when they come in. There's your little bit of tank fire. Taking out a couple of these Hydras, but man, the Hydras are just getting outnumbered and outgunned and out-surrounded. 5 Mutas and a Hydra in production from Pouncer. Actually, I looked at the wrong thing. Ezekiel's bank is the big one. Pouncer's is smaller, but still fairly substantial. And the third base does end up going down. Dude, there's 17 larvae and so much available supply. How are you just not holding down the H key or the M key here? Oh boy. All right, drone's trying to long distance mine in this location. It's so sad. Muta's trying to fight. And you know what? These number of Mutas with that Hydra support, they actually do it. By golly, they actually do it. They wipe out the tanks. They get rid of the Marines. Replanting his third is Pouncer. And expanding again is Ezekiel. These players, man, they got some general good ideas down. Just they're not spending their money well. Ezekiel is actually sitting at 100 minerals now, so he's doing a much better job building 6 Marines at a time. And some Marauders. Really, if you're going up against this many Hydras, what you want are tanks, Ezekiel. I understand your tanks died, and you're mourning them and don't want to replace them in your lives quite yet. But seriously, tanks are hugely important. Massively, stupidly important. All right, so the Marines show up here. No medevac support either. And priority target here is an extractor. This hatchery does not get canceled. No refund for you. If you cancel a building in production, it will get refunded. You get a bunch of money back. Drones, and by golly, this 5th base is going to die too. So Ezekiel has found the power of the Marines. He knows that Marines are the way you win. This poor medevac's like, wait, you all stemmed? I have to heal every single one of you? Fine. Hold still. Nobody move. Heal, heal, heal. Do you have enough energy to heal everybody here this much? I think she probably does. They're not over-stemmed. They're just like one-stemmed. Single-stemmed is, I believe, what it is called here. And okay, so that Zergling corpse ran at the Marines, died, and like flew behind them. That was neat. There's some really great attention to detail in the StarCraft cast. Somebody pointed that out in the Sunday free-for-all that I posted. Great positioning from these Marines. Holy smokes, behind those mineral patches means you can't get surrounded. This position means you can get surrounded. And you know what? I was going to say with the Lings buffering a little bit here, the Mutas do pretty well, but now those are gone, and now everybody's dead. So resources lost 14,000 for Pouncer, 7,000 for Ezekiel. But yeah, somebody said in the free-for-all I posted on Sunday from the Root Unity Team House, which, by the way, go watch that thing. It was great. It was so fun. 8-player free-for-all. Everybody pro. Everybody living in Korea. From different countries and different teams around the world. But Foreigner House, basically. And yeah, there's a moment there where an SCV gets killed and its corpse falls off a cliff into a pool of acid and goes sploosh. It's a small thing, but it just really adds to the sense of immersion in this game. It's so pretty. It's really wonderful. All right, third base. I don't see Pouncer keeping this thing. What do you even have, Pouncer? 16 Hydras. He thinks the answer to this mass Marine play is 16 Hydras. Oh, is he attacking 2 places at once? Ezekiel, the absolute boss. Look at him attacking 2 places at once. Into these spines, sure. But dang. Okay, these guys are getting wiped out by Hydras at the third. Good job, Hydras. And the natural base, I think we're going to see a similar thing. 3-3 on these Hydralisks versus the 2-2 on the Marines. And generally, the Marines could hold their own here, but there's no medevac support at all. And no tank help either. Marines are good, but they're much better with the support of their friends. The single Marauder. I like it. Yeah. Ow, ow, ow. Explodes and then blood gushes on up. Okay, so Pouncer decides on a 4th base in the top left-hand corner. Ezekiel has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases now, so he's up. Money's got to be on Ezekiel. Now, Pouncer, he has the tech. I think he has the economy, although he's not getting gas here. He has 4 gas, you guys. He has no gas at his 3rd. He's barely harvesting here at his natural base. No, he's doing fine there. And his 5th doesn't have any extractors either. And there's a Liberator present. So that's not good news. Hydras attacking into this planetary fortress, generally a bad idea. But if there are no SCVs repairing it... Oh, hang on. There's the repair, but only 2 SCVs, not enough on the repair. And the Hydras do end up taking down the base. Great job. Ooh, Widow Mines are out too. And look, see what I mean? Stim, Medivacs, Hydralisks dying much faster. Although, they're taking some Marauders with them, man. They're trying to focus down the Medivacs, and they get 1. If they'd done that at the beginning, it might have been a different situation. Production tab is busy for Ezekiel and empty for Pouncer right now. You just always need to be making something, man. Getting upgrades, expanding, producing army units, something along those lines. It is 53 to 14 army supply. Ezekiel has been skating by with the smallest army count consistently I've ever seen in a 20-minute game. I can't believe how much he's been able to do this thing with nothing, with almost nothing. He has 5 Hydralisks. 5. Cinco de Hydras. I'm assuming that Hydralisk is Spanish for Hydralisk, but I could be wrong. I have some Spanish-speaking people in the chat. I know that much. Or in the chat, in the comments, people who watch this thing. Just because I posted a fastest map ever replay from Brood War last Saturday, and the players involved were speaking another language, and I thought it was Spanish. And there were a lot of comments in the comments about, yeah, it's definitely Spanish, or that's South American Spanish, but spoken really poorly. Like, grammatically not great, spelling isn't good either. And I always forget that. I always forget that other languages can be spoken poorly. So, like, if you try to learn Spanish from someone who doesn't really speak Spanish well, it's not going to help you all that much. And same thing for English. If you try to learn English from someone who doesn't speak English well, not going to help you all that much. It's really funny that way. Ultralisk Cavern popping for Pouncer. I love the Ultralisk answer here. Although there's a lot of Marauders, and Marauders are effectively created to counter Ultras and Roaches in a lot of ways. Anyway, I do get some comments on my videos from time to time as well. People saying that they're learning English and they like watching my cast to help with that. So, I try to enunciate. I try to speak clearly, even though sometimes I fail miserably. Alright, so Lings rolling in. These are 3/3 Lings with Adrenal Gland. These are cracklings, man. Oh no, Ezekiel! Of all the bases not to put a planetary fortress at, really? Your 4th? Okay, a lot of dead SCVs. Lings head on over. Is there something here we can kill? There's a planetary fortress here, and there are not enough of you. I'm sorry. I like your upgrades. I really do. Look at them not even bothering. They're just going after the missile turrets. That seems okay, actually. Although, geez, splash damage is great. And missile turret is going to die unless the SCV decides to repair it. I'm not sure that he will. SCV, they do sound like dudes. But maybe that stereotyping. Pouncer taking a base down the bottom right side. So he's got 6 bases officially. Some of them are super ghost towns and nothing much is happening. Other ones are mining happily. Others are totally mined out. And he's got 33 workers. So he had more. He's lost a ton. He's lost 29 drones and 12 SCVs have been killed so far. I think most of those were at this 4th base for Ezekiel. Widowmine burrowing in with a red laser on the top of his head that says, I have drilling claws and will remain cloaked forever if I am burrowed. All right, Ezekiel, what are we doing, man? You have 108 army supply. You've got your tanks. Your tanks have upgrades. They have a +1 vehicle attack upgrade, which is fantastic. Keep going with that. The Marines are sitting at their 3/3 combat shield and stim and medevacs. There are 3 of them. They're here, though. They're protecting the 3rd, which really does need protecting because there's no planetary fortress, guys. There's not one there. All right, so attacking up the left side. Marines all by themselves. This hatch is going to die. He's like, man, if Pouncer's not going to saturate this thing, I might as well just kill it. Ezekiel walking right past. Oh, he found it. He found it, but there's Lings and Hydras here. It's just... Oh, attack move, though. Attack move! Hydras! They kind of are... Oh, now the tanks are in siege mode. Goodbye, Hydralisks. It was nice knowing you, but you are all completely dead. Yeah, that hatch is gone. Top left-hand corner for Pouncer is out. And this here 3 o'clock position is also going to be blown to pieces of Zerg meat, which I can't imagine tastes good. Right? Can't imagine it tastes good to eat a Zergling, like, cooked. Lings rolling in. Wow, just getting obliterated. One makes it through the cavalcade. Ooh, never mind. He was chomping on these siege tanks a little bit. Drones coming back in. Long distance mining. Again, this is a pro tip from Falcon Paladin. If your base dies because there's a huge army sitting on it, make your drones go somewhere else. in the meantime. Oh, the fourth base. The fourth base by Pouncer is gone too. This is a lot of hatcheries killed. This might just be it for Ezekial. He's got 128 supply to 26 for Pouncer. By the 24-minute mark, he's finally at 171 overall supply. His army supply is huge. He's got the upgrades that he needs. These drones are going to absolutely... Hey, look, the drone's going somewhere else, but actually, no. That's not actually somewhere else. And Pouncer is defeated. If I don't call it a rage quit, people will be like, Falcon, just call it a rage quit. Call it for what it is. And if I do call it a rage quit, some people are like, dude, you don't know he was mad. It's like, yes, this is very true. Either way, he doesn't GG out. Pouncer does not GG out. Ezekiel's pretty happy about sitting here and wrecking everything that Pouncer has. So, as is tradition, we'll allow him to do that as we discuss a little bit here. Or, I mean, but you have to go. You can't just... Oh, no, he's out. Okay, never mind. We're not going to let him do anything. But, yeah. All right, so, Pouncer. There are things I liked. There are things I liked from Pouncer. I like he had every tech structure available to him, except for the Hydralisk Den, which actually would have been really useful. I really feel like Hydralisk Den, Lurker Den. Lurkers would have been extremely useful here for Pouncer. But he had the Hive. He had Banelings, Roaches. He didn't make Roaches. He didn't make Infestors. He made a few Mutalisks, but it's mostly this Hydroling strategy, which is not viable against a Bio Terran unless you have Banelings, in which case it is viable at that point. But you need Banelings. I like he had the Baneling nest. He never made any Banelings at all. I liked his expansion patterns. He tried to expand. He didn't just sit on one base or two base forever. They were late. They were slow, but it was a good idea. Ezekiel, pro tips, don't make a planetary fortress at your natural. Just wall off, get some tanks in here. Fine. Third base, yes, planetary fortress. Fourth base, yes, planetary fortress. Also, rally the units. Yes, rally the units. Get upgrades for your Marines faster. I did like you eventually got combat shield and stim and 3/3 for your Marines. Good. But anytime you send Marines anywhere, send them with medevacs. At least send them with medevacs. You can send them with tanks if you want. I understand tanks are slower and you want to be more zippy, but medevacs are fast and they can keep up. So good harassment here. Ezekiel kind of going three-pronged here, taking hatches out in several places at once, which that's a good sign for his future in the game of StarCraft. But anyway, pretty good one. Pretty good example of Into the Void. A lot of stuff to talk about, which is generally what I like to do. But that's going to be it from me today. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and Into the Void. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.
And so you must run, and it's taken your heart and broken your soul. You cannot go back until you're made whole. And you're running into the void. You go searching into the void to find a place you can live. You can love. Is it just an illusion? When push comes to shove, there's a light upon you, and you follow it on. Looking for a reason opposite stars. You're lost in a maelstrom of a great new unknown. And you're running into the void. You go searching into the void to find a place you can live, a place you can love. Is it just an illusion when push comes to shove? And you're running into the void. You go searching into